If you're seeing a Tinkercad Update Failed error, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the most common fixes step by step so you can get your project loading and saving properly again. This usually happens when Tinkercad can't sync your design with the cloud, or when your browser is holding on to old project data that no longer matches the current version. By the end of this tutorial, you'll know how to clear the problem, refresh the connection, and get back to working on your model or circuit without guessing what went wrong. And if this video helps you out, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more easy software fixes and tutorials. Let's get into it. First, we're going to clear the cached session data in your browser. This is one of the most common reasons Tinkercad throws an update failed error, because old cookies or corrupted temporary files can stop the browser from properly communicating with the server. On Windows, press Ctrl-Shift-Delete. On Mac, press Command-Shift-Delete. When the Clear Browsing Data window opens, set the time range to last 24 hours. Then, make sure you select cookies and other site data and cached images and files. Once those are checked, clear the data, and then reload Tinkercad. This forces the site to pull fresh workspace data instead of trying to use something outdated. If the issue still appears, the next thing to check is hardware acceleration. Tinkercad relies on your browser's graphics processing to display and update 3D designs smoothly. And if hardware acceleration is turned off or misconfigured, the view can fail to refresh correctly. Open your browser settings and search for System. Look for the option called Use Hardware Acceleration when available, and make sure it's turned on. After that, restart your browser completely. Don't skip the restart, because the setting usually won't apply until the browser relaunches. Then go back to Tinkercad and test your project again. Now let's look at the design itself. If your project has a lot of separate shapes, especially if they're all left ungrouped, Tinkercad may struggle to update the geometry in real time. This can happen with large or complicated models, and it can also happen if one small part of the design is causing the rest of it to glitch. Try selecting the objects you're working with and press Ctrl-G to group them. If one area is still behaving strangely, ungroup it and then regroup it again. That simple reset can force Tinkercad to recalculate the shape positions and update the model correctly. If you're still getting the error, the next step is to check for network conflicts. VPNs, browser extensions, and unstable connections can interrupt the data stream Tinkercad uses to sync your design. If you have a VPN enabled, turn it off and try again. You can also open an incognito or private window by pressing Ctrl-Shift-N. If Tinkercad works properly there, then the problem is probably caused by a browser extension, like an ad blocker, privacy tool, or script blocker. Another useful step is to flush your DNS on Windows. Open Command Prompt and type ipconfig/flushdns, then press Enter. This clears old network routing information and can help your browser connect cleanly to Autodesk servers. If you're using Tinkercad circuits, the Update Failed message can also be tied to simulation issues. In that case, check your code for infinite loops or code that runs too fast without a delay. If you're using while or for loops, make sure they include a delay of at least 10 milliseconds where appropriate, because without that pause, the browser can freeze and fail to update the simulation state. Also, always stop the simulation before you change wiring or edit the code. That gives Tinkercad a chance to sync everything properly, instead of trying to update while the circuit is still running. Another thing worth checking is whether the issue is on Tinkercad's side at all. Sometimes the problem isn't your browser, your design, or your internet. It's just a server outage or maintenance window. Visit health.autodesk.com and look for any service alerts related to Tinkercad Cloud Storage or the dashboard. If there's an outage, the best fix may simply be waiting for Autodesk to resolve it. At this point, if the error still hasn't gone away, try asking yourself when it happens. Does it occur while you're actively designing, or does it happen the moment you open the project? That detail can help narrow down whether you're dealing with a browser issue, a file sync issue, or a project-specific problem. In many cases, one of the fixes in this video will solve it right away, especially clearing cache, enabling hardware acceleration, or simplifying the design. So to recap, clear your cached session data, turn on hardware acceleration, group complex geometry, check your network and extensions, stop simulation before edits and circuits, and verify server health if needed. Those steps solve most Tinkercad Update Failed errors and can save you a lot of time. If this tutorial helped you fix the issue, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Tinkercad and software troubleshooting guides. And if you're still stuck, leave a comment with exactly when the error appears, and I'll help you narrow it down from there.